So as we saw, that conjunction of the superior planet and the sun began that whole cycle. And then the fourth house, the squared position, and after the retrogression begins the trine position of the sun. This will happen. And this will continue for the next 2 months. Then the second meeting will happen. The first meeting was conjunction. Conjunction of Sun with Saturn, Sun with Jupiter. That was the first meeting. It lasted for 2 months. Now the second meeting is going to happen. And in that second meeting, the superior planet will be in opposition to the Sun, which means Sun in the 7th house from these planets. And so that will be the second meeting, and that will actually decide. Look, they have already, the work of re-examining is going to happen the moment that backward movement starts. All the re-examination will begin. But we will get to see those results when that 7th house position comes. And then again it is the same thing. It's the same cycle. The conjunction followed by the 4th house and the 5th house positions. This time, when during the retrograde movement, it is the opposition followed by the 9th house and the 10th house positions. First it was conjunction, 4th house, 5th house, when we saw peak results. Now it will be the second meeting, the opposition, and then after that opposition, during that opposition, all those decisions of what do we need to do, what kind of results do we give these people, all those discussions will happen. When these superior planets are opposed by the Sun, 7th house position, and then Sun will come down to the 9th house and the 10th house, and we've got to remember again, Saturn will be 1 house ahead and Jupiter will be 1 house at the back. Again, it's going to be a long-lasting thing. It's just not going to get over fast. Because Jupiter in Sagittarius, 10th house means Sun in Virgo. But then Saturn is in Capricorn. So 10th house position of the Sun will mean Libra. Till then we will continue to experience whatever results we needed to experience regarding this situation. Whatever it is that we needed to learn. All that. It will finally, come to a halt after Sun sort of moves out of, let's say, Libra. This is the whole retrogression cycle. Now, what is going to happen? We have already faced an examination. We faced that examination and we have seen the results. We saw all those consequences. The question is, after we got those results, what did we do? By way of preparing for that re-examination, what did we do? Have we done anything concrete? There must be weak points there. There must be things that we have not prepared or we have, not looked into. All those things will be highlighted by this retrograde movement. That second meeting which will happen, which will be that opposition, that will again bring into very sharp focus whatever we have ignored till date. One very important thing is, during this stationing period, if a wrong decision is taken, it's going to be terrible. It will have terrible results, because we have to understand what Jupiter and Saturn actually stand for. Jupiter stands for expansion and Saturn for any kind of limiting. Anything that people have started enthusiastically now, Jupiter is going to put a clamp over that during this, stationing and then that retrograde movement. People who have problems with depression, they are going to go into depression. There will be all kinds of, wherever you see, for instance, families, they are centers of harmony, or at least that's what they are supposed to be, harmony. But if there are families where there are, property feuds and all kinds of things, that balance of opposing energies, that Saturn and Jupiter thing which is happening, those will all escalate. Those things will escalate. So these results of this outer situation that we are talking about, we will get to know the actual results when that opposition happens. And after that opposition, right up to the 9th and 10th positions of the Sun, both from Jupiter and from Saturn, till then we will see results. For instance, if we look at the kind of damage we've done to nature, and we are not even aware of it, we are aware, but we do not realize that we've really done any great damage. We are still at that stage where we are blaming the planets for everything. We are not taking responsibility for anything. It won't be very surprising if there are floods and all kinds of natural things. This current corona situation, or whatever you may call it, that may for some time appear to have, now it's come up again in such a big way, but it will be coupled with something else that we have not looked into. That situation will happen. Something that we have overlooked, that is what the Vakri or retrograde movement is all about. Some things which have been left incomplete, that is what the planets are coming back for. Whatever has not yet been looked into, that kind of a situation will also come, and this time it will get coupled with this. So they'll appear terrible to us. But ultimately, we've got to remember one thing. It's not the end of the world or anything. No such terrible things. Ultimately, we are all going to bounce back. Never mind how that happens. Whatever may be the arguments about the economic system or whatever you may say, we had them coming because we've been living unconsciously for many, many, many years. These things are periodic, yes. Planets and their movements are periodic, but then so are examinations for students. You cannot deny them. All we can do is we've got to be prepared for the examination system, and we've got to realize that planetary movement is an examination system, and we are supposed to be prepared for it. We are not supposed to have this laid back attitude and say, oh, they are planets, now what can we do? We are here to learn some things, and we are here to face that examination system on a regular basis. There's no avoiding that. And whatever we may have done or not done, we are always given that second chance. That's that retrograde movement. Yes, it will be very bad. It's not as if, it's going to blow out of proportions. Not that, but things that we have overlooked are now going to be raised. About that, there's no doubt. Ultimately, we will learn our lesson. That's how it will end.